it's a ticket. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Waifu Views. It is the very first episode of the new year.
Whoop,
I
whoop.
am Honey Shar. I go by a Shar of Honey. You can find me at a Shar of Honey on all platforms. That's like a jar of honey, only sweeter. And at top we have
Hello, all. On Facebook, you will find me as Asia Morgan. Everywhere else, that's TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, that thing formerly known as Twitter, it will be sunkissed_waifu.
And I'm your girl, Ebony Moonbeam. You can find me at Ebony_Moonbeam on all social media platforms. And yeah, that's it. That's where you can find me. I'm here.
Well, we thank you guys for joining us on another amazing night. Today we're going to be talking about detective animes. That's all things detective animes, and we hope you guys can tell us your favorites and everything else. But starting out, where do you guys personally rank detective animes on your interest list when it comes to anime? Do you rate it high or do you rate it low?
Go on, Ish. Because I can see you itching.
Because I was really thinking about it. I was like, I will admit detective animes were not on my radar beforehand. But due to Shar's recommendation, a deranged detective?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I might have like a new little genre I'm a fan of. And I would rank it kind of up there, at least top 5 for sure.
So it's very low overall for me, but not as bad as sports. Those are bottom tier. You're watching the wrong sports anime,
There's some
my
good
friends.
sports anime.
There are
Look
really
up Blue
some good
Lock.
ones. Okay, IQ, Kuroko's basketball.
There's a lot.
The list goes on. Skate the Infinity. For me, I would say it's definitely high. I love detective anime. I like anything involving mystery, and typically detective anime can get really dark, which is my wheelhouse. So for me, and I just grew up on a lot of the Agatha Christie books and stuff. So all of those. So I've been like always into all types of detective things, down anywhere from like Clue to Murder on the Orient Express, those type of things, Sherlock Holmes. So this is my jam. I'm glad that we're doing the detective series.
Have you seen the Agatha Christie anime?
I have not. I did not even know that was a thing.
I just found it today. But it is a thing. It's been out for a while. I didn't know. It was a long time ago. But yeah, so do you guys like detective or crime shows in other forms of media besides anime?
Oh,
so you watched it like TV shows, but not anime besides the one you just watched.
Ash, you want to get in on that?
No, that was for you.
That's for you.
I've been watching. I've been watching detective anime. That question is for you.
So I do. So that's the problem. I've been, like I said, I hyper focus. So most of what I intake is anime. When I was watching TV once upon a time, I did enjoy like First 48. I do like the Sherlock Holmes movies, or the character himself is brilliant. Yeah, outside of that, I didn't really pay too much into it. But between my mom and my best friends, they love like How to Get Away with Murder, Buried in the Backyard, like stuff like that. Oh, they love it.
Good stuff.
See, for me, detective everything is at the top of my list. So when it comes to like detective anime, that's the first thing I'm going to look for. You guys know my comfort anime is one of the best-selling animes of the mangas, which is Detective Conan. even though that manga is extremely popular, detective animes still do not get their just dues. If you look at anyone's top five, if you look at anyone's favorite animes, rarely you're going to see detective anime on there. Now, with the rising of it, with the rising of certain parts of it, say like Bungo Stray Dogs, which was a sleeper hit, you, it was the
Love
anime
it.
of the year, even if a lot of people didn't see it. I just want to
It
put that
was
out there.
but it wasn't the conversation for a lot of people that had watched Bungo previously to season I think it was 5, right?
Yeah,
Season 5 or season 6. And it was in the conversation. I was watching Player's Choice anime on YouTube. And they were doing like their last anime show and they were ranking and trying to figure out what would be the best anime of 2023. And the host brought it up multiple times where he was like, it's Bungo. And then you see everybody in the comments that know, like, if you know, you know, and they're like, nah, they really did their thing. So, but it is under the radar. And a lot of people don't know that there's a lot of their anime that they like and they don't realize it's technically a detective anime.
I was just getting to that because the thing about detective animes is it can be intertwined with romance, with thriller, with drama, with many different types of animes, but the detective aspect is a major component of those
Hmm.
and why it is so good. So you'll have like animes like Paranoia Agent, Erased, Psychopath, Hyoka, Terror in Resonance, Gothic, Darker Than Black, uh, Ghost Hunt, Ghost in a Shell.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Newer ones, you have Apothecary Diaries, and like the one I put Aisha on, which was Deranged Detective.
Love it.
You have a lot of animes where you're going to go into it thinking you're going for a romance or you're going to be like just something scary, and the detective aspect sneaks up on you where you don't even realize you're watching an entire detective anime, which
Hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think is is actually a good way to present it to people. That's how you get people interested. Hola.
Mm-hmm.
But for you guys, what do you think would be a reason, as far as the anime community, of why Detective Apothecary Diaries is so good? I really wish so many more people would watch that. It's like I honestly watched it not knowing it even did have detective aspects
Mm-hmm.
in it. Like it kind of like creeped up on you because you thought it was going to be about something entirely different. But I really like it. Have
I
you guys
still
seen it
have to
yet?
watch it.
You still haven't?
It's still on my watch list
No.
because I finally made it to Deranged Detective has been on my watch list as long as Apothecary Diaries. And since we were doing this show, I had started Deranged Detective finally. So
Uh,
that's the only reason why I haven't gotten to Apothecary Diaries. But it's definitely going to be probably the next one that I watch because now I'm in the detective zone.
Yeah, and I know that we had talked about that one because the artwork is really beautiful on that. Um, so you
Yeah.
guys should definitely make sure, even if you're watching, check that out because it's very beautifully done and the storyline is good. Um, but just within the anime community, what do you think is lacking that people aren't on detective animes? Is it simply the genre, or do you think people just think that there's not going to be any good ones, so they don't even give it a chance?
I can
Because
tell you this.
what
It's
is
the
it?
fact that we live in a power based, shonen based, fighting based type of world when it comes to anime now. Do I say that only people only watch shonen? No, but it is one of the most popular genres, and typically the anime that is most marketed, easily picked up by certain things like little clips on YouTube or TikTok or anything like that. All of those are either completely bloody and gory or they have some type of crazy fight scene or power. And I think that it is, everybody is not, especially this generation, no offense to anybody's like under the age of 25, but I am talking to you. Anybody that's under a certain age, in my opinion, and the generation of anime, it's just we don't like the masses don't fully appreciate good storytelling. And we have a very short attention span. So if it takes too long to build up and get there, and people now think anything over like 2 episodes or even 3 episodes is not enough time, and it's like that's enough time. You can give it some time to build and to sink in. And I think people don't want to wait for it, or it's not marketed enough, or they see a little snippet of it and it's just not eye-catching enough for them to hop in. I think that's one of the reasons why Apothecary Diary made its way around. It was because of the beautiful animation. Deranged Detective, when you look at that photo, says, I don't think it appeals to the masses as much as shonen anime, for example. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you look at even Deranged Detective, if you look at the cover photo for that, you would think it's a completely different anime than what you actually kind of get out of it. But I think if people knew that there was, parts that were comedy and stuff like that, then they would probably gravitate towards it. But it's one of those genres similar to anything that falls kind of like in dark categories as well. I think it's just kind of, it gets lost in the mix. If you know about good anime, then you've watched them and then you know how to find them. But outside of that, they don't advertise it enough.
Facts. Do you agree, Ish?
So I'm gonna say this. I realize the older I get, the shorter my attention span for nonsense gets. So I'm one of those people. I think the only exception to that was Ragnarok.
Record of Ragnarok.
Yes, thank you. See, that's a good example.
Gotcha.
Record of Ragnarok. It took so long to like really get into it for me, like that first season. And if it wasn't for the colors, I can't say I would have held on if we weren't going to review it.
Yeah.
But I
which
do
I
appreciate
totally get.
the recommendations I've been getting, because I will watch once I'm caught up on some other stuff. But yeah, I'm with the bright colors and all that, because nobody has time for BS or wasting time. Like I can't say I'll ever give Eminence and Shadow another try. I can't.
And I'm gonna be
I
honest
hear
with you.
2 is so good. I hear season 2 is so good. And so I'm like, do I want to try and give it another chance? But you know me, I don't like watching stuff out of order. And so if I don't fully remember it, then I have to start at the beginning, which means, and I think that anime was like 15 or 16 episodes. It wasn't short for
It
a
was like
season 1.
yeah.
And I was just, and it started off really good. We were all like, oh, we think we're going to like this. And we got to like episode 5 and we were like, okay, 6, 7. Oh God. And I want to say, if I'm being, I think if we're being real, I think only one of us actually watched the last episode of season 1 by the time we did the review, because we were struggling so hard on it.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a tough watch. That's why when I hear people saying like, they're looking forward to season 2, I'm just kind of like maybe while I'm about to go to sleep, like maybe, because it was such it dragged for me. It was a hard watch. But hey, if you like it, I love it, but I'm not probably going to watch that anytime soon. So, but I get what you're saying, but I definitely do agree on the whole like people being more focused on like the shonen in those types of animes than detective, because as popular as detective movies and detective shows are, you have stuff like what is it, Law and Order being on for 20 plus years, and all these,
Only thing that stays
CSI
on
with
my
like
TV, my actual TV. That's all that's on. People think I'm a weirdo because if you turn my actual bedroom TV on, I guarantee you Law and Order SVU is playing.
that and CSI and Without a Trace. that was on a loop. That was on a loop. Like, that's what my grandma would watch, everything on a loop. But you see the popularity of those kinds of shows. And I think it's so interesting that the popularity in other mediums does not translate to anime. That
Mm.
anime is so much lower on the, totem pole as far as the genres.
I wonder if it has
But
something to do with the amount of money that the anime tend to pull in. Because what's crazy is when you actually look at something like My Anime List, you'll actually see a lot of detective anime on there as extremely popular and stuff like Black Butler. That falls under detective.
mhm.
Paranoia
Oh,
Agent is one of my personal favorites. But that typically people always look at that as more of a psychological thriller than a detective anime. Same thing with Terror and Resonance. Like a lot of these genres, that's why I just use the term like dark anime, because all of these different genres constantly intertwine. So stuff like psychological thrillers, mysteries, horror, gore, suspense, all of those end up intertwining. So they come across like, even like, just like you said, Erased. Most people just think that's about a time traveling guy trying to save a girl that died years ago or whatever, but
Right.
it's technically a detective anime.
And so many of them are. Like I said, you can find a detective anime in so many of these other ones that you think you're going into it for a romance story, or like Apothecary Diaries, you think you're going for someone who's doing like chemistry and that old timey stuff, but you're going to get a detective in that realm still in there. And so it
Monster,
is. Oh, Monster is
so
coming up. Monsters on
monster.
the list. Like I said, Ghost in the Shell, Ghost Hunt, all these things that you think are just, have just paranormal activity or just anything, just kids out of school. Like, there was one anime I was watching. I just thought it was like a shy schoolgirl, and it's a whole detective anime.
Oh,
And it just like creeps up on you because that's not what you're expecting. But like I said, I think that's a great way to get people interested in that
Mhm.
genre because you're going into it and it sneaks up on you, and then you're going to go and search for that same kind of thing. So hopefully it grows.
so would Tokyo Revengers be able to be subgenred as
Yes,
detective?
It
I
it,
believe
it
so.
can, yeah.
Because they're constantly trying to like figure out like more about Kisaki and stuff like that. And there is an actual detective in it, which is like a
Right.
main, like, and he is a major character. But I do think one thing that I can say that I've noticed, especially in these past 2 seasons of
Hmm.
anime, we actually are getting quite a bit of new um detective stuff, like Undead Murder Farce last season. I loved that.
Hmm.
But I think that one of its selling points was that she was a girl that was beheaded, like she was just a head in a cage. And then
Yeah.
her handler was a guy, like an oni, like a half human half demon or whatever, that could fight. So I think that that's what kind of visually made you gravitate towards it. But from beginning to end, it's a straight up detective show. And so that one,
Yeah.
we
We
got
mentioned Paranoia Agent a few times. It definitely is
what
still a detective anime. Oh, the
would
comment
Mob
said Paranoia
Psycho
Agent.
That was the
would Mob
last.
Psycho 100 be considered detective? If so, that one was hella good. I don't know if I would consider Mob a detective anime. Would
I,
you? Like, I get they have the
I
detective
wouldn't.
agency in it, but
I wouldn't, but I would say like the other one Aisha mentioned, it had detective elements in it still, but I
mhm.
wouldn't I wouldn't put that in like the detective category.
Yeah, if they were, if I felt like, if since the main focus really is Mob and his powers and stuff, I think that if they were trying to uncover something else, that would be one thing. But I just feel like because they live in a place where psychic events happen and they are trying to solve psychic issues, but it still doesn't tie into the main character, so it doesn't tie into the ultimate story. That's probably why I wouldn't put it in there.
Now, I already mentioned Bungo Stray Dogs. And I know,
Gang.
I know Ashley likes it too, and we're gonna get you in the gang too. But
Yes, we
to
are.
me, to me, the reason why Bungo was so effective and so um like different was because of the other aspects that they put into it. And so that's why I think that putting out more detective animes that focus more on not just the detective side of it is
Mhm.
what would make the genre so much more successful. So you're gathering different elements of other animes, putting it in that, and so it's not just one dimensional. Because
Yeah,
even like Pluto, like the Pluto that came out,
I still haven't
it
seen that.
started off well, for me it started off like I thought it was a detective anime. That's what I
Okay.
Mm,
and it still is, but that was only the first portion of it. And so
mm-hmm.
adding the other elements into it is what kind of drew me in even more. And then the detective was like the nucleus of that. But like,
Gotcha.
yeah,
But I agree with you about the don't put that up. I agree. Sorry, it's just
Do not
I
plan on
just
it.
saw it. I agree about Bungo though, because one of my favorite aspects of Bungo is their power system
hmm
and their inner workings and how it connects to, and this is just my own personal, it actually has nothing to do with detective, but you do tend to see it in some shows that involve detective type things, and it's the connection to literature. And so I love that, like, you see an Edgar, like you see a Poe character and his power involves this, because I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but there's all these different elements where you'll recognize some of these names, and somehow these names even correlate somewhat to their powers, and their powers are really unique, like you've never seen a power system like that. If you watched recently High Card, they basically bogarted and snatched up Bungo's power system. That's literally Bungo's powers, but
yeah,
better. They're done better, in my opinion.
yeah,
So I do think that you need something flashy, um, at least to kind of, even if it's just to get people to come to it, like
right.
even if that's not the whole point, but
Mhm.
if they had other elements, I do think that they would probably be a bit more successful. um yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah, but I think in the next coming years we're going to get a lot because even the small previews we saw of the anime coming out this year, there is a few detective animes that I feel like are going to gain traction and become more popular. And I think we're going to get a lot more detective animes that are going to appeal more so to the masses because of the success of like Bungo Stray Dogs.
Right.
But yeah, speaking of all of these animes, because you're already
Hey.
20 minutes in, um, we're gonna do the blind ranking. I almost forgot about
Yep,
Inspector. That one
Inspector.
really is the type of better. That is a good one, and that was, I did list a lot, but that is one on my list. I
I'm gonna
can't
be
name them
honest.
all.
Inspector was one of my ones that, like, it took, like, when I first started watching it, I said, okay, I like this. But Inspector and Me, especially season one, was a slow burn, and then it started like a very slow burn. And I say that, and I wasn't being forced to watch this, but I was still like, okay, all right. I was like, things are happening. No, like, and there are things about the two main characters that are just interesting as hell on their own. So you part of it is you wanting to watch just to know more about these two main characters. But then
Mhm.
as this whole, like, investigation unfolds and stuff like that, you get more and more. But you know how you watch something and you're getting more information, but because it's not the final piece, you're still confused. Like,
Yeah.
that's how it was for me for Inspector up until we got to like the last 2 or 3 episodes. But then season two was a lot smoother for me. Um, but I like
Okay.
it. And the colors and the animation are pretty on that. And powers, supernatural powers, you gotta love it.
Powers add like a
Well,
little cherry on top, little razzle to the dazzle.
it's like oregano, just cilantro, a little
Cilantro.
oregano, a
Yeah.
little cilantro, like right on the taco, like a little zest of lime, you know, a little salt around the rim, you know, just
There you go.
there. See,
Um,
yeah.
but
Oh, let me get my paper ready because
right,
y'all know
right.
how we do with
So
blind
you
rankings.
guys,
So
we
you
do
guys,
have a blind ranking for you. We're not gonna do there is so many we can do for like a tier list or anything like that, but I figured a blind ranking was like, just enough. So we're going to this
It's
is always
always
a challenge. This is always a challenge, but we're going to do a blind ranking of 10 random detective animes. They
Mm,
are in no particular order. I just numbered them so like I wouldn't get lost, but they're in no particular order
oh,
and we're
cool.
going
So
to rank
we're gonna
them.
bounce around and
All right.
you're like,
But
all
we're gonna
right.
rank them. We're gonna rank them, and if you guys, are watching, you guys can rank them yourselves at home too.
mm.
But yeah, let's get to it.
Let's move everybody over and let's get to it. This should be interesting.
I think I'm ready.
Are you? I'm not. Sorry, I always do that to you. But thank you. Okay. So
All right, so
first up is
Double Decker. Now this is I would say an older anime, but
mhm.
it is very good. Have you either of you seen it?
No.
I haven't seen it in its entirety. I did come across it once. And then when I went back to finish it, they had taken it down.
Yeah, it was removed after a certain point, but it was really good. Um,
Mm,
this one is about a duo of veteran investigators and a rookie hits the streets to clean up the crime and dangerous drugs invading the city. So this to me reminds me of Law and Order SVU. This is this is
it even looks like it. Look at it. It's
yeah, it's
Stabler
Benson and
and
Stabler.
Benson. Like that's right
but
there.
but yeah, that's what I would call it as an anime. It's very SVU-ish.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say this is my as far as old anime detective goes, I wouldn't say this is my favorite. So I'll probably put this at like a 9.
Oh, I don't feel so bad now.
Yeah, because for me, it's at a 10. Like I'm just kind of thinking of like how many different detective anime we've discussed in passing, either on this show or on the round table. And so I can just think of so many other ones. Taquan said the plot line itself is good and the story is awesome, but there is very little BL elements. It is confirmed that Kirill does have a crush on Doug, but whether Doug returns his feelings or not is not known. The creators also threw in random LGBTQ elements in the story, which was cool.
Interesting. The
Hmm.
more you know.
I love it. I love, hey, I am all for a little hint of BL in just about anything where you're sitting there and you're like, I know they're not, but they're giving the vibes and I like it. I like it. There's
Yeah.
a couple of anime that I'm like with that. So yeah. Okay, where are you putting it, Ish?
9. I put mine at 9.
Okay, okay. Not bad, not bad.
All righty.
Next
Next
up.
up. Oh, no, sorry, I'm so used to
Sorry,
saying,
go ahead, go ahead.
you know, this is your show today.
Millionaire Detective. Now this
I,
one, oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying I don't know where I want to put it because I do love it. I do love it, but it is on like the chiller, quirkier side of the
Hmm.
detective spectrum. And I just feel like almost all of my favorites are more on the darker, you may or may not die end of the detective spectrum. So I think has to be like a mid range for me, like somewhere around like a. If I can just think about like some of the like the three tops, and I'm just gonna tell y'all because y'all know the three tops, like Death Note. We got Bungo because we already know that's on the list, and Erased. That's three right there. So I'm thinking I need to put it in like a 6 or a 5, maybe a 6.
I did throw in some like a couple of wrenches in here.
Okay. Batman
So
if he was 12.
This is what I was feeling.
Yes.
Because I know that especially like me and Ashley have watched a lot of detective anime, so I didn't want to put the ones that I know they're already going to be up top. So I did throw in a couple of like randos in there.
Okay. Well
but
then.
but as far as the Millionaire Detective goes, I did place it at 7.
Oh shoot.
Like Daquan said, it's giving like anime detective vibes of Batman, and I am not a Batman fan at all.
At all.
At all. Like no. So for me, it's gonna take that number 10 spot.
Oh wow, okay. Ooh, that's lower than the last one.
Double
Okay.
decker. Yeah.
Double decker.
You're gonna go back and watch The Millionaire Detective and be like, I totally should.
Yeah.
Like we know these are stressful, but that's why they're blind.
True.
It'd be too easy if we knew.
It would be easy if we knew. Okay. Next up. Ooh.
Deranged Detective. Now this is a newer anime, okay, and it follows one detective who is kicked out of the detective agency, and then a new rookie detective who they become friends, and he helps him solve his crimes in a way. But he is also facing a mystery of his own.
Mm-hmm.
This came out last anime season, so winter of fall of 2023.
Yeah, and so the last episode I think aired last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the last episode left. But this is one of my already favorites.
Yeah.
So I would place this. I forgot what I put on the list, so I would place this at number.
Drum roll.
4. I would place it at 4 actually.
4? I guess I ain't there yet.
4.
Cause I'm over halfway through. I have like 2 or 3 episodes left, and I love it. So it's already gonna go high for me. But
she said not number 4 high.
Not 4. As the highest, I think I can give that as 5.
Oh,
okay.
But I do love it. I gotta see what
like
Char saw at the end.
Oh no, the end will probably make you mad. I'm just saying. I need season 2 to already get here. Very much. So.
It's already in the works. It comes out this year.
I already put it in its slot, but it's like with that little tidbit of information.
Oh, it's still enjoyable though. Like you're still gonna love it.
I do. That's the crazy thing about it. Like, because I was supposed to be trying to catch up on the anime for Yu Yu Hakusho because I watched live action, but I was torn between that and Deranged Detective, and I love it. And trying to split myself like this has been a problem. But for me, I put it at number 2 because I don't know what else is on your list, and it may, by some miracle, be something I've seen. So I left the number 1 spot open just in case.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I think I gotta. I want to move it up to like 4, but I'm like, I don't know, because these little icons I can't see, so I can't even try and cheat. I'm just like, Just see, like I said, normally when I do it, I put in either I do it way ahead of time to where I don't even remember what I put on there, or I put in way more than I need, and then I just randomly click until I get the number that I need. So then I don't know what I'm picking either, unless we get someone on the outside to create it for us. So, but there's been a time or two where I've been like, look, you can't see it. You can't see it. I swear. You can't. And I wish I could, because then that would help my, hey, if I could see it, I'd have better blind ranking results. Like that's how you know I can't see it. Because I'm always disappointed with my blind ranking. Okay. Next up is, and we're going. Oh, where am I putting it? Where am I putting it though? This is Bungo Stray Dogs, y'all. This is my fave. Gosh.
Now, if you guys watching have not seen this yet, you need to. Like, there's no excuse at this point at all. You need to go watch it. It has every single thing and element you will need out of an anime. Everything.
And you want to know how powerful? How powerful? Jeez, how popular it is. It has 5 seasons and it has like 2 or 3 movies already.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's all on Crunchyroll, so you really don't have an excuse not to watch it.
Oh, I'm so over it.
All on Crunchy. Crap.
Like, why do I pay for a subscription?
That's probably the only subscription I'm keeping. That's the one I use the most, I think.
That's the one I use the most. That and Netflix has been doing a lot with the anime games, so I won't get rid of Netflix. And then there's always like here and there, like the reason I can't get rid of Hulu is because Bleach airs through Hulu. So hello everyone, I'm sending my stage chakra to you all. Thank you.
Oh, we appreciate you.
We feel it. We feel it. Go watch detective anime. Okay, where are we putting it though?
I gotta say, although there is other anime that I absolutely adore, I just feel like Bungo was so well made. Like I can't, just from storyline, power set, characters, character development, I have to put it at number 1.
See, and I would if I had seen it, but based off of this and how much you guys talk about it, I can at least comfortably put it at 3 or 4. I think I'll put it at 3.
We mentioned Case Closed a couple times, but it might come up. Who knows?
I want to put it at number 1. I do. Like I do. But there's 2 anime in my head right now that I would put above Bungo only because it just took me completely by surprise. Bungo, because they have so many seasons, not every, just like any anime that has a lot of seasons, not every season hits the same way or whatever. So I think there was like 2 seasons where I was like, it was good, but it wasn't like season 1, or it was good, but it wasn't like this past season, because this past season was ridiculous. So I'm sitting it. Do I want to put it at 3 or 2? I'm gonna sit it at 2. I think I'm gonna regret telling y'all I'm sitting it at 2. I should have kept it to myself so I could change it if I wanted to.
Nope.
But we have integrity here and we keep it real with y'all. So it's going in my 2 spot.
All right, that's solid.
Oh, but does it?
That's the beauty of blind ranking.
Okay, I'm gonna just leave it at 2. I'm gonna leave it at 2.
Yep.
But oh god. Okay. Next up, I'm just gonna bounce around. No, I'm not accepting that. Bungo has to go down 1. I'm sorry.
Nope.
It has
Nope,
to.
you put it at 2.
It's going to 3. It's
Don't
going
do
to
that.
no, it's not going low though. It's just going to 3.
Wow.
You
It's
just
just
said
going
we
to
have
3, y'all.
No,
integrity here, and then turned
that's
around
true.
and said,
Y'all
"I'm
didn't
gonna
hear
bump
that.
it down."
What'd you
But
say?
see, that's why it's supposed to be a blind
It
ranking.
is fine.
No,
And
And I'll be
I
honest.
blindly said 2 and I meant 3 because
no.
Psychopaths is 2 for me. Like Psychopaths could be 1. Do you know like Psychopaths and
Pick
Bungo
number
sit
3,
on
my
like
lord.
they're like the
No.
same. No, they're like 2 sides of the same coin. They are just equally as brilliant for me. Do you know how long I've been searching on Google for their Providence movie that just came out this year that they refused to release in the US up until like this past month? No, ma'am.
Right.
I
No,
don't know,
ma'am.
but
No,
it is
ma'am.
blind ranking, and you put
No,
it at number 2.
no, ma'am.
You put it at 2.
But Psychopaths just barely takes an edge.
It's okay. You put the other one at number 2.
See, I'm a stick to mine because I forgot I put Psychopaths in here. So I'm still gonna stick to mine though. Bungo's still it's fine if it's number 1. But Psychopaths would probably be number
We
2
love
for
you.
me.
Fix your face, but it's at number 2.
Fine, I'll be fair and I'll switch it because I had changed it on my thing already. But
I like I said, I don't remember because I did make this like I don't remember how long ago, and I didn't check the pictures. I just clicked and I put them in.
it
So
was over a month ago because we were supposed to
yeah.
do this episode when I was in New York, and that was at the beginning
So
of
I forgot Psychopaths
December.
was in it, but it's number 2 for me.
Okay, so it's 2 for me.
And I know I'm gonna regret it.
Would
Folks.
you
I
would
feel
you have
like
put I put Bungo Pass. Would you have put Psychopaths at 1 and Bungo at 2?
I would have definitely had to think about it a little longer, but I'm fine with Bungo at number 1. Bungo is a solid. It has Bungo's fine. I probably would have kept it.
Um Geekster, if he's rich, then why be 1? Because rich people need stuff to do. They get bored because they're
Hmm.
rich. So he decided to be a
I'd
detective.
be doing all kinds of
I'd
detective
be
work
doing
and
all
crap.
types of shit.
If I have money like that, yeah,
Oh, we could be the
You know.
Charlie's Angels.
ready, ready.
Okay. Next up is Erased. Oh my
And
god.
I love Erased. This was a very this is one of my favorite animes, especially comfort animes. I can watch this over and over again. You're ranking in 6.
Yep. One, I haven't seen it. Granted, I know you have a connection to it, but just off the artwork alone, I'm just like, it's a detective show and kids are involved. No, thank you.
Them showing them as kids is a very like you're gonna see them as like adults too. So, but the art,
this is time skip done right. Time travel done
yes,
right.
yes,
So if you
and
like
it is
Tokyo
a little
Revengers,
older.
yeah.
So, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many
But
do I
I
have?
still have
1,
1, 5, 7, and 8 left open.
1, 2. This hurts.
It does.
It kind of makes me glad I'm not as attached as y'all are. Because normally I'm over here having a whole panic attack. Do, do, do,
Girl,
do, do.
don't do that. Don't be that way.
I will put it at 5.
Okay. It looks like it pains you to do that.
Because Yeah, because that's the next one I have open besides my top three. So it's 5.
Okay. So you have it at 5. I have it at 6. And Miss Ebony.
It's going to be my 4.
Okay.
Which
You
it would have
sound like
been.
that
It would.
you do as well.
Well, no, not too much because it would have been behind Psychopaths and Bungo for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have wished that all of these were up higher. But yeah,
Yeah, I do want to switch a
here
couple
we
around,
are.
but I'm gonna leave it.
I'm like, here
It
we
is what
are.
it is.
So
Next up, we got
be the beginning. I actually didn't. This one was also one of those ones that took me a while because it looked cool and
right.
pretty, but then there would be parts where it was either slower or I just didn't fully know what was going on because
I
it
got
was like,
confused. Yeah.
yeah, I got confused, and so I had to rewatch it. But once I got through it and then made it to season 2, then it made a lot more sense to me.
Dude in the
But
middle looks like Walter White.
Yeah, you know.
he does actually.
I'm just saying. Okay, so
This is gonna be either 8 or 9.
okay. I got mine in at 7. And that's
I'm
only
gonna give
because he
it.
kind of looks like Walter White.
He went up a little.
Tiny bit.
He's at 8 for me, or it's at 8 for me.
He's going at 9 for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Also another one with like weird powers and even
Yeah.
weirder characters. It's not
Yeah.
what you expect at all. I am the one
I
who
am the
knocks.
one who
See?
knocks.
You know what's up. Ghost in the
Oh,
Shell.
dang. I messed up.
See? No. See, we could have I could have let you slide if I could have switched Psychopaths and Bungo Dogs.
I ain't let
Dang.
nobody slide.
I'm gonna remember that whenever we do like a shonen thing.
Right.
We're gonna make you think One Piece is on there and then we're not gonna put it on there.
See, that's just
So you're gonna be saving that number 1 slot and it ain't never gonna come. You're gonna get something random. That
don't
you're
get me
gonna
wrong,
hate.
I love One Piece, but is that the end all be all best thing of ever? Like, no.
Okay.
But I
Okay,
do love it.
we'll see when
Remember that.
right, remember
Remember
that.
that.
It's recorded.
Now trying to
Live,
double team me
live
though.
and
Wait
in
a
color.
minute.
Live and in color. All right, where are we putting Ghost in the Shell, y'all?
Where'd you put it, Ace?
Don't deflect.
Sunkiss. Where'd you put it?
I can't
Out
with
of, yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's not too many options left for Ghost in the Shell. I have 1, I have 5, and I have 8. So you're either top, mid, or bottom.
Well, I think the popularity of Ghost in the Shell tells you that it's at least mid-range.
Oh, absolutely. So it was 1 or 5 for me, but I don't know it enough to put it in first place. So it'll probably go. Yeah, it's 5 for me.
It
Where would you put it?
it's 6 for me, actually. Because all I had was 1, 6, and 8 left. And I'm not giving, if I didn't give Psychopaths my number 1, I absolutely am not giving Ghost in the Shell. And I like Ghost in the Shell, but not the same. No.
I
Not happening.
also had to put it at number 6.
Where would you have wanted to put it?
I probably would have given it Out of these options, I probably would have give it a 4.
I feel like I knew you were gonna say 4. I think the highest, honestly, it would have went for me is 5 because I still like Erased more. Even though Ghost in the Shell has better rewatchability for that anime than Erased. Like you can only watch Erased like once every couple of years.
I watch it all
Just
the
because
time.
I don't. I don't. I don't want to watch the depressing shit all the time. This shit takes you somewhere sometimes.
Sometimes you need that, you know?
Yeah, sometimes. And then other times you gotta like pull yourself out of that. Because I've done that where I just enhance my already not great mood. So I have to like follow my mood. I'll be in the car sometimes, happy go lucky, then I'm listening to Tony Braxton over and over and over again. And you would have thought that someone had just broke my heart and I was about to drive over there, bust the windows through his car, tell him he wasn't man enough for me. All of that. And
That's
I'm
my
good.
song.
Like I'm in a whole
That
different
is a
place.
good one though.
It's a great one. But anime will do that to me. I was in a phase once and I was watching nothing but like some really sad shit. And I was crying. Actually, after like Fruit Baskets one time, I like binged the whole season 1 and get into season 2 again. And I was like, nope, you gotta watch something else. Where's the fighting? Like you gotta come out of this because you've been crying too much. Like break away.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were there for.
Mhm. Okay. Next up is Char's
Oh, since
OG.
the comments wanted to mention it,
Let me see.
is that a kid or is that just like a really small adult?
So he is an older teenager, young adult who saw something he shouldn't have
Ugh.
and became this child. But he has increased intelligence and observation, so he's able to solve crimes.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
Geekster said no, he's a kid. Oh, oh,
No,
check him, because we
Yeah,
no,
fact check
get
round
him,
here.
Char.
he is in a kid's body, but he is not a kid.
Oops.
Oh, got him.
It's in the opening credits. It shows
Oh.
you.
Damn,
Mm.
that's funny. I love
Let's go
when
ahead
people in
and
the
pick your
comments
jar.
try and tell us stuff like we don't know what we talk about. Like we don't just be up here talking. He drank a chemical that reverted his age.
But
That's what he
he
said.
but he was not this age.
Yeah, then that still means that it just made him younger, but he still has the mind of an adult.
Yes.
That part.
It's like when Goku turns into a kid, he's still a grown ass man.
There you go.
Is he though? Is
He
he
is.
really?
Well, he was never really a grown ass man, but you know what I mean. And you Goku tards don't come for me neither.
Okay, so he's
Exactly.
with you on
There you
that.
go. Thank you.
That's
Oh,
what
see,
she
I like
said,
when
though.
somebody can admit they was wrong.
No, I appreciate you. He's still, So it is an older anime, so we do remember it, differently sometimes. But I just watched this religiously, so
Yeah,
I'm like,
she's always talking about it. She was ready to cut my head off the other day when I was telling her, what were we doing? We were on some show together, and I was like, yeah, I technically still haven't seen Detective Conan. And she was like, what?
But
Wait,
it's
this
like
is
it's been out for so long.
this is case closed. They're not, are they the same?
Yeah, he's
Okay,
Conan.
that's right. Okay, I just wanted
Yeah.
to be sure. Yeah. All I got is 1 and 8 left. So my guy, so he's like man boy from Powerpuff Girls, the body of a boy, but the powers of a man.
Sure.
We can go with that. I don't know, because like I said, I haven't watched it. It's on my list. That's what I plan on doing because I want us to continue this detective series. We're gonna get Aisha into this. Maybe we can even end on Bungo, just so we make sure she watches it all.
Okay.
So So the goal for me is to watch as much detective anime in the next month as I can. Because I like staying in niches. Like I don't always like bouncing around. I like staying in that. So when I'm in like samurai mode, I watch a bunch of samurai. So unfortunately, he has to
Yeah.
go at 8. But I have a feeling, especially because he is so popular, I hear it all the time. I feel like he would probably go by Ghost in the Shell, which is at 6.
Mhm. Okay.
But he got to go at 8 today. So case closed.
Interesting.
What would you put it? Miss Sunkissed.
So we're gonna drop him at 8. It's either that or first, and I don't think that's first material for me. So he is sitting at number 8.
Look at Char's face. She was like, "Excuse me."
Because obviously I have an issue outside of Scooby-Doo. Kids and mysteries or kids and detective work just don't go hand in hand
What
for me.
you
They
know,
don't.
for someone that works with kids every day, you have a huge issue with shows
Ma'am.
involving kids.
Ma'am. You don't know how upset I am. I go back to work tomorrow. I'm just
I'm glad
saying.
I'm not in that field no more. I'm glad.
Well, guess what? I've been back to work since the day after New Year's. So come on back. Come on back. Sorry. Sorry. What did he say? He said, speaking of samurai anime, have any of you watched Samurai 7? We
No.
will chat with you about that off
Yeah.
camera because we still have one other thing to do. So
For
next
case
up,
closed.
oh
Well,
sorry.
I didn't do it. But case closed.
I was like,
Uh, it's actually I put it at number 3 because my last spot was 10, and I'm not going to put one of my favorites at the very bottom. So it
Ma'am.
is.
Ma'am.
all you have is 10 left.
Yeah.
Then. Dun, 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 dun.
So I
Uh-uh.
told her I messed up. I said it. I messed up.
So
I
what was
said I
that
messed
last
up.
one? Monster.
Let me tell you, I am perfectly okay with this going at number 1. I just didn't want to put it at number 1 because that's all I have left. That's why I keep talking about number 1. I because I've seen all of Psychopaths, like the anime and the movies outside of the most recent one, and Bungo Stray Dogs. So I'm fully caught up. I'm still a little over halfway through Monster, but this is such an interesting freaking anime. Has one of the greatest anime villains of all time. Johan, you have seen the man. Creepy looking blonde guy, good looking, but still
Mhm.
creepy, dead eyes and all. And
We know you have a
yeah,
thing with creepy characters.
and this is like throwback. This thing came out like what, early, like mid
Mm.
80s
Yeah.
or something. And another thing, this shit was hard as hell to find. I would have been finished this. Let me tell you about my journey of Monster real quick. So I wanted to watch it. I'd been looking for it, couldn't find it. Couldn't find it for like ever. Then I finally found it on YouTube, maybe like early to mid last year. Started watching it, 2 episodes. I would get off, come back, and they would have taken it off of YouTube because it wasn't supposed to be there because they didn't have the rights. So then it would be taken off. And I'd come back and I'd check maybe in like 2 or 3 weeks, it'd be there. So I'd watch another episode or 2, boom, gone again. So I did this little dance forever. Then they finally put it on Netflix, but this was midway through my One Piece journey. So I had to pick and choose, and One Piece had more episodes. So we went to One Piece. We finished up One Piece. So now I'm like on episode, I think there's like 70 something episodes, and I think I'm on like 50 or 40, but this shit's so darn good. Like they could make this a live action and it would do numbers.
I have enough to watch without adding live actions into the mix. So
I'm just
let's
saying
put
because there's
that on
no
the
like
back burner.
powers, so it would cross over well, and everybody has seen like a serial killer type of show where they seem normal and but they're not, and they're bringing other people down. It's good, so good. Also, no dub for this, so trash. That's the only thing that I hate that they because I couldn't watch it the way. No, not as in I don't like sub. It was just there's certain anime that I can't watch at the same time as doing other things. And I really want to get more into Monster, but I have to be able to sit completely still, first off. And then they're like bouncing back and forth from like English and is it Russian or something? It's like a whole nother language. It's just a lot, but it's great.
Okay. So I only had the number one spot open. So it went to number one for me. And poor Shard.
She got to put it
it's
at
number
10.
10. It's whatever.
Otis
I
is
messed
going to be
up.
messaging you in the morning.
No, I messed up. I already admit I did. So it's all good. It's okay. But yeah, that was our blind ranking of detective animes. Did you guys want to read it off? Or you good?
Is that it?
I can. Okay,
Oh, okay.
so as far as my 1 through 10, starting at 1, it's Monster, Deranged Detective, Bungo Stray Dogs, Psychopaths, Ghost in a Shell, Erased, The Beginning, Case Closed, Double Decker, The Millionaire Detective at number 10.
Your list stresses me out. I cannot wait to make you like you have to watch everything on this list. And I would love to see how you would rearrange it, like a before and after, like before, like the before journey, and then this is what you got after. I would be interested to see how that changes for you, or if it changes at all, because it may be exactly what you think it is based off of the picture.
Oh, that's
So,
true.
okay, so mine, we're going 1 to 10 or 10 to 1.
I did 1 to 10.
That's weird.
You can go 10 to 1,
Save the best
whichever.
for last.
Whichever you feel.
You say save the best for that when her best is at her last.
I know. Well, luckily she has 2 of her favorites at 1 and
Yeah.
at 10. So it don't matter which way she goes, she's gonna meet somewhere in
You
the
know?
middle. Okay, so my number 10 is Double Decker. My number 9 is Be the Beginning. Number 8 is Case Closed. Number 7 is Millionaire Detective. Number 6 is Ghost in the Shell. Number 5 is Deranged Detective. Number 4 is Erased. Number 3 is Bungo Stray Dogs. Number 2 is Psychopaths. And number 1 is Monster. The only thing I'm mad about that is I would probably put Monster right now under Erased. So that would be my 4. And Psychopaths would be 1. Bungo would be 2. Erased would be 3. But I am actually, this is the best I have felt about a blind ranking. I am perfectly okay with this.
I mean, it was a struggle in the beginning, but
Lucky
yes.
you. I got from the 10 Monster, Double Decker, B for Beginning, Millionaire Detective, Ghost in the Shell, Erased, Deranged Detective, Case Closed, Psychopaths, and Bungo Stray Dogs. And that is our rankings.
That's our rankings.
We can still do the mystery. It's a short one, so
Cool.
we can get through it real quick. So we're going to be solving a murder. Is what we're going to do right now.
I can't wait.
Comes up.
I never thought I'd be solving one. I thought I'd be.
Yeah. Anywho, yeah, got you.
But I'm here for it.
He said he never thought you'd be solving a murder.
No, I didn't know I'd be solving one. I thought I'd be, someone would be solving a murder. So I'm here for it. Okay.
All right. So. Let me. Okay, so this is a mini myrtle. Which is a mini murder? The case of the dead visiting speaker. All right, so by solving this mini myrtle, you will learn the skills required to be a great detective. First, flip over the cards below and then tap again to learn more about each one. All right, elementary, my dear. Okay, are we going up or are you just going through them? I don't know what's happening. All right. Detective Logico said, recalling one of his earliest cases, or rather, should I say, collegiate, way back when he was a sophomore, a visiting speaker had been murdered. Okay, so each suspect brought one weapon to one location, but on that day, only one was a murderer. Go through the clues one at a time, placing the information provided in the deduction grid. If you need help, tap the clue, the question mark beside it.
Okay.
So we're going to look at the clues and evidence. Earl Grey was not in the mathematics department. This fingerprint was found in the laboratorium. Inspector Rotanio sent Logico a message using spirit writing through Logico, though Logico suspected he had learned it some other way. So this is the message that he received. Can you guys decode it?
It says a brain in a jar was found in the something
The cafeteria?
the cafeteria, yeah.
Good cafeteria. Okay.
The good threw me off. Like, what's a good cafeteria?
I did too, because
It
at
was
first I
supposed
was
to
like,
say
it can
food.
only be good. And I was like, Dogo? Dodo? Principal Applegreen did not bring a laptop. A poisoned apple was used to commit the murder. Okay, so let's go through the suspects' weapons and so first we have President Amaranth.
Okay.
Okay, so he is the French president. He loves spending time with his constituents, especially a certain 1% of them. He's 5'10", he's right-handed, he has gray eyes, red hair, and he is a Gemini, which already to me makes him guilty.
Shocker.
But
Right. Automatically makes him a murderer.
next we have Principal Applegreen. Now he's a strict principal. He's about everything except getting away with murder. His hands are always covered in chalk. He's 5'11", right-handed, blue eyes, no hair, and a Libra, which, I mean, can't say nothing bad about a Libra.
Right. I have no issues against Libra. Okay.
And then we have Earl Grey. Ain't that a liquor? Or
It's a tea.
No, it's a tea.
Oh, it's a tea. Well, you know,
Where's
the phone.
You may
He
have
comes
put some
from a-
liquor in it.
He comes from a long line of Earl Greys. Yes, those Earl Greys. No, he doesn't sign autographs, but he always does have some bags with him. He's
Tea bags.
5'9", right-handed, brown eyes, white hair, which we love, and a Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
What about Capricorns?
I don't. My friends are Capricorn, so you know, give and take. The weapons.
A poison apple.
So we got a poison apple. If you're a teacher and you get an apple, ask yourself if the student wants you dead. It's medium weight, made of apple and toxins. Yummy.
I'm made up of apple and toxins.
A brain in a jar. Philosophers argue you might be a brain in a jar. A great rebuttal is to hit them over the head with one. Heavy weight, made of metal, glass, and brains.
Why
So
is there
me.
metal
Okay,
with a
cool.
brain in a jar?
And last we have
I'm not gonna lie. I just feel so stupid.
Why?
I'm so confused. Okay,
And then
let's
we
keep
have a
going.
laptop. The machine you work on. It's connected to every distraction ever made. It's medium weight, made of metal, and tech.
Okay.
Okay, made of tech. Yeah, whatever. All right, and last but not least, we have the locations. So the mathematics department, we are currently doing experimental research into a new biggest number. It's indoors.
Okay.
You guys can take notes if you would like as well.
Too late for that.
I know.
I've kind of been trying to keep track as we go along.
The laboratorium and a board. Arboretorium is in the middle of campus. It's overgrown with weeds outdoors.
Okay.
Arboretum. And then the good cafeteria that we were struggling with. There are 2 cafeterias on campus, and everybody knows this is the good one. It is indoors.
Okay.
All right. So, more clues are Earl Grey was not in the mathematics department.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we can go to the notebook, correct?
The fingerprint was.
And put that he is not in the mathematics department. Then this fingerprint was found in the arboretorium.
Do I need to move us over to see the far corner of it? I wasn't sure if it was there and we just couldn't see it because of where we're placed.
Over or at the bottom?
Yeah, so I could
There
give
we
us some
go.
more room.
Okay, this is the fingerprint Logico discovered. He then compared it to the recorded fingerprints of each of the suspects.
Okay, so scroll back up.
It's the far left.
Yep.
The amaranth
Pull it
I
down.
don't know
Some.
if you could get somebody to scroll down.
president.
The president.
President. Mm.
Okay.
Presidente.
Okay, so it's the president's fingerprint.
In the arboretorium.
It wasn't found. Oh, it was found in our arbitrary.
Yeah. Inspector Iritino sent Logico a message using spirit writing. So that's the good cafeteria that we decoded. Principal Applegreen did not bring a laptop, so we know that that was if the laptop is the weapon, it was not Principal Applegreen. And a poisoned apple was used to commit the murder. Is there something more we can click on with that, or is that just it?
Maybe the question mark.
This clue means that the killer used the poisoned apple. When you have filled out the grid, use this to determine who done it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Once Logico checked his reasoning and was confident that there would only be one solution, he went to the board of directors and announced
I just wanted to show y'all
who
this.
done
This
it.
was funny.
All right. So let's go to the board.
Okay.
Moving it over. There we go. So the suspects we have the president, the principal, and who was the other guy?
Those are the 2 I remember, the president and the principal. Was it an instructor?
Earl Grey. Wait.
Earl Grey.
Earl Grey, the tea,
The
not
tea
the
man.
liquor.
Teabagger.
Okay, so we know that the apple is what was poisoned, or was the weapon.
Mm-hmm. If we could go back up to the clues. Okay, so
And the fingerprint belonged to the president.
Mm-hmm. Which was in the arboretum, whatever. Arboretum.
Mm-hmm. The principal had no laptop, so that means that they could only have the apple or the brains.
Right.
So right now our suspects
are Earl Grey and the
president
Actually,
is
all of
red
them.
and the other guy is green. If we're going off the symbols.
Okay, and then locations. Did it say where? Okay, so Earl Grey was not in the mathematics department. So that could only mean that president or principal was in the mathematics department.
Can't we put like an X there or something?
Yeah, I thought that's what was happening, but I'm just write it down. And then Inspector Rotino sent logical message in the good cafeteria. Principal did not have her laptop. Poison apple was used to commit the murder.
Right on.
Does it tell you where the locations were?
Wait, so if a brain in a jar was found in the good cafeteria, that means that the apple wasn't in the cafeteria.
Right. So the apple was not in the cafeteria.
So,
And then was there any more clues?
okay, so if he didn't bring the laptop, that means he either had the apple or the brain.
Can we click on the question mark for principal?
The principal was either in the cafeteria or...
Okay, so we're going to put an X where the principal and the laptop intersect on the grid. So which one was the principal again? The principal was the red, right?
No, the green.
No,
The green.
yeah, he's the green. The president is the red.
So that and the laptop, we're going to put an X right there. Yep. Okay.
Thank you. Because this has been giving me anxiety. Like, why are we not
doing
this?
I'm sitting here waiting for it, wondering, but okay. And we know that the poison apple is the weapon. President was the fingerprint found in the laboratorium.
So that means the president was in the... So where the red is, that tree should be a green check mark, right?
Yeah. So down the locations. Yeah, you see the first red guy, down the locations, put an X where the tree is.
A check mark.
There we go.
Check mark.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. It says Earl Grey was not in the mathematics, correct?
Correct.
So Grey, X mark, which means the president was in the mathematics.
Oh.
Oh wait, no, that's a laptop.
Yeah.
Okay, so
then
these symbols are throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah, they needed to label those.
Do not bring a laptop clue. Put an X word. All right. Can we go to the? Can you do the question marks on each clue? Okay, this clue that shows that Earl Grey was not in mathematics, but an X for Earl Grey and mathematics department.
Which we did.
The next one, we found his fingerprint. And then the next one, we already got that one.
So the brain in the jar should be the cafeteria, which will be a check mark. So if he goes up and over to where the weapons and the locations are, put a check mark for the piece of pizza and the brain.
Okay. And place X's in the other possible pairings. So put X in what? The pizza and the apple and the which one? Which one are we putting the X's in? It says put a check mark where a brain in the jar and the good cafeteria intersects. And then it says put the X's in the other. So the apple and the computer.
So in that same box, you're going to put an X next to the green and then above and below the green check mark. So above and below X.
There you go.
And then next to it, X. One more. There you go.
All right. And what was the next clue?
So we're going to have to do the same thing with that bottom square.
Are we going
So
to the next clue or do we want to do the box first?
we should do the box first
The
because it'll help us
boxes.
clear up some of this.
Okay. So which
'Cause if
box
I'm
are we
looking-
doing? The first corner or the bottom corner? Like top left or bottom left?
So if we know that the president was the one in there, you can put X's on the other two.
Right. Or technically the other 4.
Yeah.
So
So where the
Yeah,
tree is,
that bottom grid of 9, yes. X next to the check mark, and then above and below the check mark.
okay. And at the last one too.
Which means that last bottom piece should be a green check mark.
Put an X right above it.
There you go.
Put an X next to that bottom green check mark.
And then a green check on the top.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
It's coming together.
Okay.
All right. And so
We did the principal in the laptop. So did we do the poison apple? It says this clue means that the killer used the poison apple. When you have filled out the grid, use this to determine who did it. So let's try and finish filling in the
the
grid.
others before the apple. The apple's kind of like the last piece.
So I was going to say, if the brain is lined up with the pizza and the pizza is the bottom right at the bottom, then gray has the brain.
Okay.
So check mark where there's a brain and the gray icon.
Yes. And then we kind of fill it in from there.
So it would be a red X above and below the green. And then the computer would be the green where the president is.
Mm-hmm.
And
So the
then
next
for go ahead.
check mark's going to be the principal and the apple. Yeah, so that one's going to be a green check mark, and then you kind of fill in the rest of the X's.
And the rest are going to be X's, right? And then so that's math and apple and
The cabinet. No.
no
A
computer.
board tin.
The board tin.
So would it be the principal with the apple in the mathematics lab?
I feel like if we know that the principal was the one with the poison apple, which is the killer weapon, then
Yeah, go back to the top of the clues real quick. Okay. The president was in the board term. And which icon is their board term or whatever?
it's the tree.
Trees.
The tree. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So do you guys think we have enough clues to try and solve it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go to the bottom, please. All right, so who did it?
Principal.
Okay, let's see if we're right. How?
Poison apple.
hmm And where?
Mathematics lab.
We got it.
Yay.
Give you guys a round of applause. That was a little difficult with the hand in the background, but we appreciate you. So yeah, you guys, we solved a murder. Easy peasy. That's all we got for you guys. Make sure you guys it's but that's why I'm glad that wow.
Gotta love when we get that,
Don't look
don't we?
Don't look at my my unmade bed in the back. But But yeah, we thank you guys so much for joining us and solving the murder mystery with us. Hope you guys check out all the different detective animes and all the good stuff. And you watched all of our recommendations. From the top, tell everybody who you are and where they can find you.
All right. Once again, Sunkissed Waifu. On Facebook, it will be Aisha Morgan. Everywhere else, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, that thing formerly known as Twitter, it will be Sunkissed_Waifu.
And I am Ebony Moonbeam. You can find me at Ebony_Moonbeam on all social media platforms. I'm a cosplayer, 1/3 of this beautiful host. You can also catch me on Wednesdays at the Blurred Cartels Round Table, also on their TikTok lives after the show. And I don't have anything new for you right now, to be honest, but that will start next week. And we are doing a little detective series for the next couple of weeks. So we'll be giving you detective anime and other fun stuff involving detective stuff. So be sure to check us out. Follow us on Waifu Views on all social media pages, please. And thank you. And you can take it away, my love.
And I am Honey Shar. I go by A Shar of Honey on all platforms. That's Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and wherever else there's some sort of social media. Yes, I'm here on Sundays and I am on Fridays with the lovely Coco for Honey and Coco. Make sure you guys go and follow all of our different platforms and links. They should be in the comments. Shout out to Blurred Cartel and Blurred Official. Make sure you guys go and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and join our Discord as well. And we have a lot of fun things in store for you guys to check out. Make sure you guys are staying in the loop of everything we got going on. We have some cosplays and everything and all that good stuff. But yeah, we thank you guys for joining us for another week. We hope to see you guys next week, same time, same place. Have a good weekend and a good week. Love, peace, chicken grease, mashed potatoes, and gravy.
Hey.
Ooh, wife! Look at that. That's a waifu.
Right.
And waifu views.
Hey, and it made
Oh,
my
everybody
balloons
gets it
go.
except me. Okay, that's fine.
Hey. But yeah, we'll see you guys later. Have a great weekend.